Two dudes reviewing the news, pop culture, video games, movies, and shoes. Quincy and Justin with a nerdy forecast. So stay a while and welcome to the Ugly Mugs Podcast.
Welcome to the Ugly Mugs Podcast. I'm your host, Quincy.
And you're the host, Justin. A little bit of
a deep end on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I was getting ready to tell you, but you were already otherwise indisposed. But we're doing a little bit distanced today because for the last week I've had a bit of a respiratory problem. Coughing, hacking, wheezing, sinuses all aflame.
Sick fuck.
I have been sick. Hopefully I can kick it by next week. I'm already what seems to be over the hill on that, so next week
I don't feel like getting sick. He has to stay the fuck over there.
That's fine. That is 6,000% fine, and I am more than happy to do that. But we're putting together this little makeshift thing. So pardon any coughs that you hear off mic. I am okay. It's just all in due time.
I'm gonna have to run. I will be in the chat like normal.
Yeah.
But I am gonna have to run it off on mobile because I can't seem to log into Twitch.
Yeah, it's a pain in the backside. So you went and saw a movie on what'd you say, Saturday?
Movie today.
Oh, today.
Yeah.
Oh.
I caught the 1:15 showing. And was out by about 3:30.
Wow.
It's a 2-hour and 4-minute movie, and then you add in the fact that there was stuff both partially through the credits and at the end of the credits. So you actually stay for the full 2 hours, and then you had to figure 15 minutes or so of credits at the beginning, or trailers at the beginning.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, okay. I guess you're right. But what'd you think of it?
It was Ghostbusters Afterlife, and I thought it was great. I loved it. And I know critics are kind of tearing it apart right now, and I don't understand why. And I'm sure that some of the fans that are tearing it apart think they're doing some kind of justice by attacking it. But the reality is it's a very respectful movie. Plenty of nods, yet it's still its own story. The kids in it very much are the leads in the film. And honestly, I got a little teary-eyed at one point. And I laughed at a bunch of points. I'm already ready to watch the movie again.
That good?
Yeah, like I thoroughly enjoyed it. It is the third film. So, for the true Ghostbusters fans, they already know this, but basically we got Ghostbusters 1, we got Ghostbusters 2, and then Harold and Bill had a falling out. Which actually led to them straight up not being friends anymore. Bill wouldn't work with Harold anymore, and that's why Ghostbusters 3 never happened. The closest they did get to getting back together with things was they did the game, which is, to a lot of fans, the third movie, and always was to me. In fact, I can still say it's the third movie to me and called this one the fourth. But this is the next step. And that's not to say I didn't enjoy the women's one either, because I actually did enjoy that. I just didn't enjoy certain parts of that movie. For instance, it being a remake. I did not like that it was a remake. But I did enjoy the film. This comes out on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray and DVD on February 1st. I do believe it's already for digital rental, but digital ownership I don't think hits until February 1st either. There will be a box set that includes the original two 80s films, this one, all as physical copies, and then it will have a digital copy of the female-led remake. So if you don't have any of them, you can complete all four with that box set.
Nice.
I say check it out. If you're a Ghostbusters fan, you're gonna like it.
Now, should it come with the 90s cartoon also?
I love the 90s cartoon.
I only saw like a fistful of episodes. I've never had a real chance to keep up with them,
There's a really fun, great thing with the 90s show, and the fact that the guy that briefly voices Venkman in it, which is Bill Murray's character, is the guy that voiced voiced Garfield in the Garfield cartoon, Garfield and Friends. Bill Murray goes on to voice Garfield in the live-action Garfield movies.
I guess the similarities are uncanny.
No, they don't sound anything alike, but it's still fun. There's actually a collector set I've always wanted, a box set for the Ghostbusters cartoon. And it's actually, and when we're talking about the Ghostbusters cartoon, we're talking about the animated show that came out between the two Ghostbusters movies in the 80s. It's actually where Slimer got his name, because fans started calling him Slimer after the first movie. He didn't have a name. So they started calling him Slimer in the cartoon because of the fans, and then they call him Slimer in the second Ghostbusters movie. We are not talking about the animated one from like the 60s or 70s. I think it was 60s, because there's a Ghostbusters cartoon then, which was actually a big name issue for the Ghostbusters movie. They couldn't get the rights. Luckily, there was a guy that worked for the studio that was making Ghostbusters that they fired him, and he really wanted that movie to happen. And he went and got a job at a really high position over at another studio that just happened to be the studio that owned that cartoon, and said, yeah, let them use the name.
Wow.
Yeah. But the cartoon box set is shaped like a firehouse. So I've always wanted to get that. I want to put it right next to my Mystery Machine Scooby-Doo box set.
Aww.
But I don't want to give any spoilers. You haven't seen it. The movie's still in theaters, barely, but still in theaters. It really is fun. It did everything I wanted from it, except for maybe I wanted a little bit more Ecto-1 siren, but that's because I absolutely love the sound of that car.
The boing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was a good film, and I think you should. You ended up we got you to watch 1 and 2, and I think you should go and check this one out when you get the chance. I think you'll like it.
Okay, doke. I probably will. Because you said it's digital rental now, but ownership on the first?
Yes.
Okay.
And there's actually several videos already going around for people that have seen the movie enough and have also already gotten their hands on a copy of it, where they're already breaking down all the damn Easter eggs you're going to be able to see once you have this movie at home and can watch it when you want.
Oh, wow. Like that many Easter eggs? Like, were you sitting in the theater pointing at the screen and?
Oh yeah, we were literally the only people in the theater.
Wow.
It was just me and Lauren. I mean, it's a 1:00 showing on a Wednesday.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's been out since November, during a pandemic. But I was pointing things out. She was pointing things out. But I've watched some clips from these videos already, and I'm like, oh, there's plenty of shit I missed. For instance, the name on the back of a truck at the very beginning is referencing the original director and stuff like that.
Oh. Okay.
Which this one's directed by that director's son.
Oh, wow. So
the director for Afterlife is the son of the original Ghostbusters director. Him and his sister are actually in the original Ghostbusters as like kids on the street or something like that.
So a literal handover movie of passions, both the original and Afterlife.
Yeah, and I love that it's kind of become a family thing.
Yeah.
I also like to point out that the director himself has also had a directing career. It's not like he got to do Ghostbusters just because his daddy did it. He's the director for Juno, which was a huge hit.
Yeah. It was. To me, it was fine. A little strange, but it's still a good movie.
I enjoyed it to an extent.
Michael Cera's a bit weird for me.
Yeah, he can be fun though. I've never had the huge rewatch value of it that like Lauren does and some people I know do, but I do enjoy the movie. Which reminds me, J.K. Simmons is actually in Afterlife for about 2.3 seconds.
Exactly 2.3 seconds?
No, but it's nowhere near 30 seconds. Like he's in the movie and gets like maybe one line.
Oh.
But I think it's because they've worked together before, because J.K. Simmons is the dad in Juno.
Yeah. Oh.
So it was a fun little thing.
Yeah.
I feel like I would be like him and Samuel L. Jackson if I was an actor, where it's like, I get to be in what?
Let's go.
I don't care how long, I just get to be in it. That's awesome.
Like, how much do you think that if Samuel L. Jackson was not Fury, and we had White Nick Fury, that if...
Or David Hasselhoff.
David Hasselhoff would be a great Nick Fury.
He was Nick Fury.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, there was a Nick Fury movie that came out It was not good.
Okay. Well, that's probably why I never heard of it. But let's just say multiverse begins to collide and we get Samuel L. Jackson as Black Nick Fury for the over-under. Do you think he would just be like, I get a cameo in who now? Like, if he wasn't Nick Fury until that point, do you think he would be as excited? Because I think he's just cool to play whatever, whenever. Just as long as it's a cool thing.
I think he would. But I mean, real quick, the movie I was talking about, it's Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., 1998, action superhero movie, 2 hours long. This movie doesn't even have a rating because it was so direct to DVD. Like, it's not a rated film.
Oh, no.
It's got a 70% from Google users, and they love everything.
Yeah, that's not too bad, though. I mean...
3.8 out of 10 on IMDb.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah. Let me see real quick. S.H.I.E.L.D. Let's see if we got this one. I don't even know. I mean, it has a TV-14. That's the best they were able to do.
TV-14.
Okay. It has a 16% from the audience with 500 plus reviews, and it only got 3 reviews from critics, so it doesn't even have a critic score.
Oh, jeez.
I'm gonna drop you a quick image in our chat so that you can just get a quick glimpse at what this poster looks like for it.
Okay. That doesn't look bad, to be fair.
It wasn't great.
For late 90s, that's not bad. It kind of makes him look like Judge Dredd, but without the helmet. And what is that gun?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It's big. Like, it's weirdly shaped.
It is big. It's big, but it's short.
What year did I say? It was like 98?
I believe you said 98.
So, reminder that's the same year Blade came out.
I prefer, Blade would have knocked this thing out of the water.
When you're like, it's not bad for like an older, for like a late 90s superhero movie. We had good late 90s superhero movies. I apparently spilled coffee all over my jacket.
Way to go. But yeah,
but,
I mean,
to the Samuel L. Jackson thing about whether or not he would be down to just do little cameo things, I think he would, because this is the same guy that originally asked George Lucas to make him a stormtrooper just so that he could be in Star Wars.
And then he was, I guess George was like, nah, we're giving you something bigger.
For you.
Yeah, and then that's when the purple lightsaber got invented.
Yep, that was Samuel's idea. George didn't like it, and that found out somehow, and it blew up.
And now it's canon. All right, on to news. I like Dying Light. Dying Light was very fun.
I didn't get very far into it.
Goon and I beat it, and we were going to go into the DLC, but I never purchased the DLC, so he went on without me. But it was fun. No, we have a mutual friend between us that went with him. But
I just realized we got so immediately jumping in that we didn't talk about our drinks.
Oh yeah, shit. I have a Pure Life sweet tea with a little bit of lemon splash into it.
I have regular Folgers coffee. However, I have the last of my new creamer I was trying, which is the Rice Krispie treat.
I'm so agitated that I never got a chance to try that.
I mean, it's still out there. I can get another one of it. The creamer itself smells and tastes exactly like Rice Krispie treats. It's
that sounds good.
In the coffee, and it just becomes regular cream in coffee.
Oh.
It almost immediately loses all Rice Krispie treat flavor when you put it in the coffee.
Really?
Yeah.
A bit of a bummer.
A little bit.
Ah, well.
Okay. Back to Dying Light.
But Dying Light is a very fun game. I enjoyed it very thoroughly. It had bi-weekly events that were so cool. Like one event was all of your punches would cause everything to go into the stratosphere, and you would earn bonus like melee points for it, and your jumps would have an extra little bit of leap to it, so that way everything, because you had that superhuman strength. The only downside was zombies hit for a little bit more, so it would cause you to stagger. So it was like give and take, but the event was you literally knock one zombie to like bowling ball style. and then another one was electricity does more, or you gain more parts for this. There was a lot of events. It always kept staying fresh. And I'm curious to know what Dying Light 2 has, but you were mentioning something just before we started up that
the games. Oh, go ahead.
I'm just curious on how long this game is to beat, because you said you had the average beat time.
Yeah, I have the full breakdown of everything actually. So, the game comes out on the 4th. Of February.
Okay.
Now you're talking that they would give you replay value or whatever through their events and whatnot, and I'm wondering if they're still going to do that for this 500-hour game.
I don't think it's 500 hours. I don't think that this game would be 500 hours.
Techland has confirmed it will take at least 500 hours if you want to complete the game in. They took to Twitter to talk about it. They're saying the sequel for this game, for the first game, has been a huge project. They say almost as long as it would take to walk from Warsaw to Madrid. For those wondering what it would be like to walk around for 534 hours. It's 500 hours. They're saying that that's for 100% complete. That's everything, all collectibles, all side missions, stuff like that. Most players will probably be able to finish the main story and side quests in under 100 hours. The 500 hours is related to maxing out the game, finishing all the quests, endings, because there's multiple endings, and exploring every part of the world. But a regular player can probably finish the story in about 100 hours. If you are really pushing and kind of skipping some of the side quests, stuff like that, they're saying you can probably do 70 to 80 hours.
That's not bad. I mean, Techland's been working on this game for, a while now.
Yeah, and when compared to the original game, the main story for the original game was only 17.5 hours. Main story with the extras was 35, and the completest run was about 55. So,
and that was including the DLC as well.
So it says completionist, so I'm assuming the completionist includes the DLC, but I'd assume that the main story and extras at 35, maybe. But then they've got the 17.5 for just the main story, so no for the fact that doesn't include the DLC.
Okay. I mean, that sounds pretty fair, considering I think Goon and I did all of base game in maybe 20-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took us like 2.5, 3 days.
This is one of the first big title games I'm seeing that I do believe is not getting an Xbox One release. Oh wait, no, it looks like it is. Okay, it is.
I wonder if it's going to do this
releasing on all platforms: PlayStation 5, 4, Series X and S, and Xbox One.
Okay, I wonder if it's going to do the thing where it's here's the first disc, load everything from the first disc. Here's the second disc. It's to run the damn game.
So Cyberpunk kind of did that. I had to download 2 discs.
Yeah.
And I had to put the first disc in to play the game. Which, by the way, I'm a little ways in, not super far. I've done so much side stuff things before actually going and like doing your first real mission that I got the title screen at like 8 hours into the game.
Wow.
Yeah. Now that I'm actually into the game and getting the story on it, the story I liked what I thought the original story was going to be. The new story, I totally get why they went there. Or not even new story, the actual story, I totally get why they went there.
Ooh.
And it's just kind of whatever. But I'm not getting the game-breaking bugs that everyone's talking about. Granted, I started playing after a big patch.
Yeah.
So the game definitely is playable
Whew.
now. With Dying Light 1, how long do you think it took you to quit it?
It took Goon and I about maybe full days of playing after I got off of work, about 7 hours each day for roughly 3-4 days. So we'll say less than 30 hours.
Okay, so about double the regular completion time. But you were saying you did side stuff too, right?
We did a bunch of side stuff. We did a bunch of screwing around. When the beat 'em up event happened, we were just kind of mulling about with that. So yeah, we did a little bit of messing around.
You had your fun with it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Dying Light definitely had some fun to have. But yeah, if it's gonna have events that are similar to that, oh, more than likely. Especially when I mean, the Dying Light 2 trailer kind of zooms around my noggin right now. Like, it's one of those really nice parkour feels. I could go back and watch it right now. I won't, but I could.
Is there a game that you would rather watch than play?
Mirror's Edge 1.
I only ever played the demo for that.
I liked Mirror's Edge 1 as far as the story was flatter than a pancake, but the gameplay was very, very fun. Mirror's Edge 2 was both boring in both ways, both the story and the gameplay. I would like to watch one in a movie aspect, because, I mean, parkour is just nice to look at. If I had to choose another one, maybe Metal Gear Solid 3.
For me, it's any survival horror game that you don't get to fight in.
Oh, Outlast and whatnot?
Yeah, so I watched Outlast.
Speaking of which,
I watched Amnesia.
Outlast 3 has been announced, but I couldn't find the trailer just before we started up, and I'm like, did they pull it? I'm not gonna go search around for it, but good to know that it's announced. And it's VR, so that's the only thing where I'm like, even though you won't be able to defend yourself, maybe having it in VR does add that extra level.
Of me just getting the shit scared out of me and falling down.
Yes.
Okay.
Now last week we talked about CES a little bit. We do enjoy our CES, and next week.
I mean, we live in the town.
we do. I literally was across the street from where it was when I was working at that location. But I digress.
I saw a bunch of anniversary posts put up, marking, like, I don't know what the amount of years is, but the anniversary of the CES, where they unveiled the Xbox at CES with Bill Gates and The Rock.
And The Rock. Yeah, I saw that anniversary post too. Man, it did not age well. Not in a bad way. In a
no, it's just The Rock being the looking goofy and shit, and standing next to the Duke controller. Which, now that I know that they unveiled it with him, I'm like, oh, that controller makes sense because it's for his big ass hands.
You know, right? But we got some monitors to show you. So we got an Alienware. Alienware is a little overpriced for me, but tell me more about this.
Well, really quick, there was a couple monitors I didn't pull up because I didn't like them. Acer did one that looked like a TV screen more than a monitor.
Fair enough.
There was a Lenovo that just kind of looked like every Lenovo I've ever seen at Walmart. There was an LG that didn't feel like it was bringing anything new. But we'll start with the Alienware one in right here. So this is the Alienware 34 curved QD OLED gaming monitor. You're talking about price on them, and you know that you feel that they tend to be a little overpriced. I don't actually have a price for this one, which is concerning because other monitors on here had no issues dropping their ungodly prices, and this one's not telling us.
Well, so Alienware is owned by Dell, and Dell is already what they like to call premium hardware at this point in time. So I don't even know what Dell sold out to, but something tells me that this thing is going to probably be, you said it's 34 inches?
Yeah, it's a 34-inch curved.
With
a 1800 R curve.
Yeah, okay. So what I'm thinking is maybe 350. That's being very generous.
I'm trying to see if I can find...
Because
I'm finding prices for their regular OLEDs, which is helpful because this is going to be
because my 30 LED BenQ 1 millisecond refresh rate was 149, and this thing isn't curved. I don't want a curved monitor yet, but this thing isn't curved. It's nice looking. It has no major staple. It has speakers if I wanted to have speakers, but I would rather have my external. And it's fine. But with OLED and with it being 4K, I'm like, do I want to push that extra cost for this? Being Alienware, probably not, but if it was like a Samsung one that had more features than... that is interesting.
And this does have the 1 megasecond response time and a refresh of 175 hertz.
Okay, that's a good refresh rate. I can mess with this on a good day.
They're expecting to ship around March. The price reveal, I'm assuming, will come just before they open it up for the orders.
Okay, all right. So that's 1 down, 4 to go. Well, 3 to go. So this is ROG. This is Republic of Gamers. This is Asus. I like ROG gear. I saw some of their towers a long time ago, and I'm like, ooh, that's really nice and spacious. It doesn't look like it would cram a video card, and like the whole entire motherboard looks like it rests well in it. So tell me about this monitor.
So this one is the Asus ROG Switch OLED, which comes in 42 and 48 inches.
Jesus!
For anyone that checks out the stream on this, I picked a very specific image for this one, because the actual image that Asus originally launched, they're kind of screwing with your eyeballs, because what they did is they put the two monitors next to each other, kind of turned them, and took the image that they're both showing, which is the same image this one's showing, and put it behind them so that it almost looks like it's borderless. But this monitor does still have a border, and I wanted that to be clear, and that's why I picked this image.
Fair enough. I would assume these things at the bottom are either speakers or they are exhausts. Because this...
Let's break it down. So we've got the PG42UQ and PG48UQ.
Okay.
They say, unlike other OLED displays sold by our competitors, the ROG Swift OLED will feature an anti-glare micro-texture coating on the panel's surface, which should help reduce glare, which is interesting.
Okay.
Both monitors are using the LG Display OLED panel with a 120 hertz refresh rate, HDR support, and response time of 1 megasecond. And they've got 2 HDMI 2.1 ports, making it suitable for doing multiple displays. You should be able to run next-gen consoles on it with no problem, because it does have a display port of 1.4 and a USB port.
Okay. Price tag on this?
No price, no release.
Well, yeah. Because usually with CES, they're just saying, hey, would you buy it? Hey, would you put money toward this?
There is one other ROG, which is the PG32UQZE. That is a 32-inch mini LED panel with a 4K resolution and a quantum dot layer that promises, what they quote say, incredibly vivid saturated colors for those who want a 1440p monitor. And then there's the PG27AQN, which is a 27-inch at a 36 HDD rate. So they do have smaller versions. They're not going to be just these big beasts.
Yeah, I don't even think I could utilize a
40-something inch.
40-something inch. Like, I think the biggest.
48.
I think the biggest. Yeah, no. I think the biggest. I think if I wanted it right here, where I'm looking right now, is probably maybe 34, 35. Because this is 30, and I'm already like, oof.
What I like, and what I would probably do if I was going to go through and set up a full-blown monitor system and like full-blown office system where I need multiple monitors, all that. I like the monitors now that you can run vertical in height.
Yeah, I do.
So you can have the longer thing open.
Yeah. I would have just on like one of the tall ones on the side. I would just have Discord only for that one, just
That's
because.
Exactly what I was thinking. Just all the Discord channels, just
yeah.
Down it.
Oh yeah. Number 3. This one with the very strange gaming image.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out what the gaming image was. It kind of feels like a weird robot version of Fable. This is the HP Omen 27U monitor. I like this one just because it's a smaller monitor, and we also have a price tag for this one.
Okay.
This is a 4K monitor still with an HDMI 2.1 support and a refresh rate of 144 hertz. The HP Omen 27U kind of just gives you a basic monitor look. It's good for first-time gaming monitors. It does have 2 USB-A ports and USB-C port as well, which is actually rather nice because the other ones didn't have USB-Cs.
Okay, now this is HP, it's Omen. That means that it's going to be not necessarily as big as like Alienware. Hit me with that price tag.
Well, one more thing real quick. They say that this model also features AMD FreeSync Premium Pro Adaptive Sync support, and I have no idea what any of those words mean.
Okay, so with AMD, they kind of like lean forward because NVIDIA, of course, has their like GeForce experience, so that way you get the full benefit of games that are supported by NVIDIA. AMD kind of did that with the monitors, so that way you get the full benefit of the games through the viewing. There have been heres and theres with it, such as just higher contrasts or higher saturation for certain games. I don't know the full benefit of it. I've never had one. I think this BenQ one is the AMD FreeSync, but I never used it, never utilized it.
Alrighty, well, this 27U will launch. It's currently set for spring with a retail price of $699.
So remember when I was telling you about that curved Alienware was $350? I changed my number. Jesus
if you are looking for something around that price range, I would check out the Lenovo that they also showed. It looks like a regular monitor. We don't have an image of it. That one's just a simple 24.5 inch 1080p, and that one ranges from $259 to $349.
Okay. I mean, it's 1080, but I'm pretty sure for that price you can get yourself like a BenQ 4K for about that price, so that way there's no lumps in it.
There's also an LG that Ultra Gear that was shown, which is a 4K. It's a 3840 by 2160 that offers 144 hertz. But this last one was the one I really wanted to talk about.
When you showed me this image, I honestly thought it was a top-down view, but then I realized this was coming from behind.
It's a side view. And then I sent you a top-down view next.
And then I was like, how? Oh, okay. And then it's a bowl.
This is the Samsung Odyssey Arc.
It's a bowl.
So,
and I don't know what that is.
Samsung had a few things. They had the Samsung Odyssey Neo G8, which is a 4K monitor, 3840 by 2160 with a 1000R curve. Samsung notes that its first 4K screens with a refresh rate of 240 hertz and response time of 1 megasecond, offering the fastest and most responsive times for those that want the best gaming, whether you have NVIDIA, G-Sync, AMD FreeSync, Premium Pro. This monitor will support both tech. The monitor is about 55 inches with its curve. It's very thin.
It does look very thin, considering I think the bubble that makes it look thick is actually just the backing of it cycling all the way to the other side.
Yeah. They do say they didn't release too many specs, but they did say that it's a 16:9 aspect ratio, and you can rotate this vertically for the use like we were talking.
Oh, good. Just because I want that super curved monitor for Discord.
Right. The thing I don't like is that they gave very little information, talked about how it's the best monitor out there, and yada yada yada, and didn't give us a price tag. They didn't give us a release date.
I think
nothing.
I think this thing is still in testing. They're probably trying to figure out how much the tech is going to cost, and then how much they need to price it for us to take it.
And there's two of these. The one you're looking at is the Arc. They also did the Neo G80, which is a lot like the Arc, but basically a thicker border and a less futuristic stand. So
I mean, yeah,
it looks a lot like the G7s.
Okay. I mean, Jesus, that Arc though, it is literally like I would say that's about 35 degrees from point A to point B. That's
some weird stuff in tech, though. I mean, think about the Apple cheese grater looking computer, or the fucking monitor that came with that thing.
You are correct. I stand duly corrected that this is not the craziest we've seen. But
we also grew up in a time where Apple computers were colorful and rounded and whatnot.
And it was all in the monitor.
Yeah.
Everything was in the monitor.
Zoolander, him throwing it over and breaking it open and going, "Where's the files?
Where are the files? It's under the sauce."
I still don't understand how that... It's under the sauce. I still don't understand how that fucking Mac Pro monitor didn't fucking fall over from being too front heavy. That thing defied gravity. The stand itself was what kept it level. It's kind of like doing the balancing a fork on a straw and then balancing the fork on the end of the other fork, and it just stays on it. It's the way it works. What I love is I don't remember the name of it. It turns out it was the Mac Pro. All I typed in was Apple cheese grater.
Oh, Jesus.
And it immediately came up. Not only did it immediately come up, but the first link is to the actual Apple website for the Mac Pro.
It looks like they're very well aware.
I do have to say, and I think this was the first one to come out with their self-made silicone. I do have to say it was an inventive way for you to access the components, because basically there was a thing in the center of the top of the tower that you would grab, and you would just turn it, and it would unlock the case, and then you would just lift that up, and there's the inside of your computer. You're good. The case is off.
Oh.
So it was a very nice, clever design, and that handle would fold down, so it wasn't just always sticking up.
Okay, so it could, like, collapse inward.
Yeah.
Okay, that would have actually been a nice, like, design choice at the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
Now, hold on, let me do a little bit of artistry magic. Boop, boop, there we go.
Ooh, artistry.
Yay, artistry. So we were just talking about, like, how graphics cards are promoting basically monitors and peripherals like that. Mm-hmm. Well, RTX, of course, is a part of NVIDIA's graphics card line to make sure that you get your game as crystal clear as you want it at 4K. No frame skips, no nothing. The day before, just released a RTX 4K gameplay trailer, and it's not exactly promoting the game for me. I mean, it looks good, but it's not promoting the game at all.
Yeah. So, that's one of those things where we're getting to see the power of the product, but not so one product, but not so much the power of the other product. While we're on this, I wanted to mention that we didn't pull up all the new graphics cards that are coming out. However, there were some that are actually fucking affordable for now.
Yep.
We're supposed to be getting an NVIDIA that is the RX 6500 XT from AMD, not NVIDIA, from AMD, which is only supposed to be $200.
Oh, I'm curious. Yeah. I would want to see some benchmark. I'm actually kind of glad that we kind of took a step back, because I would like to do a little bit of research on those before making a mention, because if it's a budget card, I would want to know more a little bit about it.
Well, and this is the RTX that we're looking at right now. This is the 3050 for NVIDIA.
I believe this is on. It's on an RTX, so yeah, it has to be on one of the current.
Right, yeah, so this one is 250.
Okay.
So,
also,
the game they're showing, you had to tell me about this game and everything, because the entire time I'm sitting there going, "What is this weird Division clone?"
It looks like a Division clone, but with cars. Is there cars in Division too?
No.
I mean, at least you'll be able to drive in this one.
I mean, it made sense, though, because who's going to sit there and move all the fucking traffic from all the people that just suddenly died?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this one just feels weird, a little wonky. Like, I would want some World War Z style... As soon as a gun goes off, I want World War Z style zombies rolling around the corner going, "That sounds like food."
Like DayZ.
Yeah, a little bit like DayZ. Something that
Days Gone.
Yeah, something where you're gonna be like, I fired a gun, now everything's here, everyone notices me, even the players notice me. Now it's a real conflict. Because I would love a good cityscape where you have to survive both other people and the zombies.
I love a really good cityscape game.
Oh, I do too.
I thought The Division was amazing personally. I know you had your personal issues with it, with the fact that they basically made people bulletproof so that they weren't just one-shot kills if you had good aim.
Okay, hold on. That was just one of my issues. My other issue was I never knew what to do next. It was always up in the air. I was always like, do I continue on this creation thing? It's not telling me to do that. It's telling me to go do the same mission that I just did.
So the problem is the missions have levels in which you can complete them. And I will say they did kind of drop the ball on making sure that was communicated. But they also were trying to do a thing where you had a level of do whatever you want in whatever order you want. Just understand it's going to be harder when you do it. I thought the game was great, and I even really enjoyed the sequel, which was set in Washington. It did lose points because it was set a couple months after the first game, so it was no longer snowy out.
Yeah, I mean, if ever, I still have it installed. I still have the Christmas guns that I managed to scavenge from one of the loot guys. Mm-hmm. I mean, if I can get up to that max level and get someone to help charge me along back into it, I am down for it.
Hey, if you ever want to do it, I'll do it in a second. I love the Division games. We could sit there and stream those too if we wanted. We could start fucking fresh if we wanted on one and go through it. I even went through and got the book when it came out on Audible because I just love the story.
Okay. I'm down. I am down for that.
And so when you told me about this game and you were showing me this, it does look good.
Yes.
But it looks empty. It looks like a Division clone. I don't know what to feel about this. I haven't heard shit about this game either. And normally this kind of game would be right up my alley.
We did talk about this back in E3.
Then it was just fucking forgettable then.
It was, because we called it the same thing as we did now. It's something we've seen before, but it also seemed at that time very empty. Hopefully...
I'm watching this trailer when you first showed me before the episode started, and you mentioned it's a zombie game, and I went, it's a zombie game? And you're like, yeah, he shoots a zombie right here, and you rolled it back.
Yeah, right.
Which you got it right here. You're like, this is a zombie he shoots. I was like, oh, I just thought that was some dude's face getting blown to shit. Like, nothing about this game told me zombie.
Yeah, and it was only a couple zombies here, and then a couple zombies in the following scene after that. There's a couple littered around here, a police stand, and I'm like, it looks like a Chicagoan, a New Yorkian style area with a mall and a woods outcropping. I'm like, this looks good. It looks great. Show us more. Show us some semblance. Apparently, in the gameplay trailer, the next set, it has the opening is about maybe 4 to 5 minutes of a old timey style radio talking about what's happening at that exact time. Let me see if thank you IGN for having the gameplay trailer, but yeah. For a minute and 45 seconds, it's just what's happening. It's like nice conversation. Someone screams in the background, and then it begins to devolve into the zombie outbreak. Which
I'm all for storytelling, but you don't put a minute and a half of a radio in a gameplay trailer.
Yeah, and then
how long are they driving around before anything happens? Holy crap!
A good minute, but this is to be fair, this is just they're going slow because they're doing like a tech demo. They're showcasing the scene
that you don't clip through the ground.
Yeah, they're making showing that there is mud physics, that you got to drive slow or you may stall out. Who knows? But they did show a little bit of HUD, if I recall. Yeah, they showed a bit of HUD, like your heat, your stamina, your water, so you don't overdo it. On the bottom right, you have the fuel gauge. I'm like, okay, very simplistic, very normalized gauges. There's no problem here. Then they hit up a gas station, and a zombie was in the cop car. It was very
waste ammo.
Yeah, I believe you made that same exact comment the last time too, because you were like, "Can we get someone who can shoot?"
I remember this now.
Yeah, and you were like,
"Okay."
Yeah. And he's whiffing, and you're like,
yeah.
This is pissing me off.
I remember this now. Yeah, he whiffs like fucking crazy.
Yeah, but I was like, he probably has infinite ammo in the backseat. It's fine. And I was like, the whole thing aside, it just showcases that 3 things. 1, a bullet ain't gonna stop him. That's good. That's good to me. if one bullet to the skull could, keep them running at you a little bit more dazed, but can still get a hold of you, that's what I want. I want something
There's
that...
plenty of zombie games where a bullet to the head does stop them. And the way around that being a bad mechanic or taking away from the game has always been very simple. It's called more zombies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you can get 30 more zombies coming after you, that's already a plus, because...
More zombies?
A plus.
And zombies with helmets.
And zombies with helmets, and maybe even players, because this is supposed to be online. So you're creating enough noise for everyone to hear. Now,
that was the one thing I liked about the Division, is that it was online without being a game that you were fighting each other.
Yeah, well, unless you went
into the darkness zones.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just regular, I'm walking down the street and somebody decides they're going to be an asshole and pop one in my head.
Right. It's not Fallout 76.
Yeah, and it was, it was even to a level of, like, I'm having troubles with this mission. I can send out a distress signal.
Bepsi.
I can even send out a distress signal to get other people that are online to come help me.
Yeah.
Which was nice.
Sorry, everybody.
No dying.
Okay.
That's the number one rule of the show. No dying.
No dying. But I want to see more. I want to see more concurrent gameplay, because this is back from April. This here in front of our faces from April. We watched the RTX trailer. Hopefully the next one will be a full-blown 100% trailer that will be player versus player with some actual, like, UI showings. Give us some, like, crafting, because I know there's probably going to be some crafting. Give me something that doesn't make it look like it's Tarkov. Give me something that makes it look very unique.
I want a less empty feeling world. I know it's supposed to be after a plague, but or something like that. But the thing is you have that exact same feel with other games where you still only run into small groups of enemies, but it doesn't feel empty because there's a lot of shit around.
Right.
This feels very empty.
It does.
Fucking throw some trash bags on the streets. Something.
Yeah, or a corpse.
Yeah,
like
corpses.
Some corpses. It always livens up a Christmas party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't throw mine with that one.
But shoe news. So about maybe a month ago, maybe a little more, we talked about Pokemon in Converse. We kind of skimmed out on the date a little bit to give you the reminder, but good news, we're here now to let you know about that reminder. It was released on January 7th. So if you guys were waiting on these shoes and kind of missed out as we did, go ahead and take a peek at Converse.com and snag a pair of these pretty nice looking high tops. Even for the little kittens. They range anywhere between, I believe I saw 60 to 100, depending on shoe and shoe size and shoe style. 70, 45 for the little ones. Oh my god, those Pikachu ones. 40, the Jigglypuff, 40. And then I don't know about these ones. Yeah, I don't know about those ones. They didn't showcase it. But I said, go check out the website that we could not give you at the time of. Now, this one you know a lot more of, because in the 90s, I never noticed these.
I don't think it's so much that they are specific ones from the 90s. I think the concept is more... Why can't I scroll? What is going on? Because I'm scrolling the wrong way. I think the concept is more that they're supposed to feel like the 90s and look like the 90s, but aren't necessarily a re-release.
Oh.
How do I... it's been so long since I've had to open a link on Discord. I just need to make that a little bit bigger for me.
Oh,
no
mouse button.
I mean, I remember the floral patterns and stuff like that being on women's shoes and whatnot, and they got like the gingham, or I think it's gingham design. The fuzzy shoes, I'm a little iffy on. That's a weird one. And I definitely do remember like the big hunkin' shoes at the front here. But I think one of the feels they're going for is if you're looking at these like more high top type of ones, and the back, the black ones with the big hunk on the front,
and then the frill on the back.
You get the frill. I think it's supposed to be those socks that all the girls wore, like the ankle socks that had the frill.
Oh.
I think that's what's going for. So the concept in general for these shoes is supposed to be 90s nostalgia, not re-release of something, but something that makes you feel like you're in the 90s again, like you're a kid in the 90s. I do find it weird that the not the slip-ons, but the gingham and flower ones have like a pocket on the tongue, like on laces.
Yeah.
It almost looks like something you would like carry hand sanitizer in from Bath and Body Works.
And then a dog is wearing 2 pairs of them.
Oh yeah, he's got 4 feet.
They are pretty interesting, but they don't hit me with that nostalgia, which is a bit odd, I guess. Oh god, the anime eye on the back of one of them. 718212? I assume those are area codes. Oakland?
I was gonna say I know 212, but I don't know 718.
Well, I guess it's, yeah, on the back of this it says it, but I don't... Rivington?
New York City.
Oh.
It's New York. It's the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, and Staten Island area.
Interesting. Makes sense, I suppose.
And 212 is just Manhattan in general.
Manhattan?
Yeah. So it's New York.
Huh.
Speaking of which, I found a TikTok page that I am absolutely in love with. It's this guy that walks around and shows you different things in New York and gives you the history on them. And I am fucking loving this channel.
Nice.
I'll have to send it to you.
Okay. That's for me.
I'm not as interested as I am, but it's really interesting to me.
I mean, I sit around and follow resin pours because they pour resin into the molds and add some interesting, shiny, clickety-clack stuff. And then when you look at it and it's like, ooh, it looks nice. Don't paint it. And then they paint it and I go, why did you paint it? It's under the sauce.
Under the sauce.
But these shoes are destined to release on the 28th of January. So go ahead and check out Vans.com on January 28th. The last one I have, just in time for the holiday, Valentine's Day. Good news, an Adidas Ultra Boost 5.0 is wrapped up in black and red hearts. A very simplistic shoe, but they call it Valentine's Day for the reason. It's just an Ultra Boost with stitches of hearts. Nothing too outrageous to talk about. But I'd figure I'd mention it all the same. You like Valentine's Day?
I mean, it's not something I've ever gotten super huge into. Me and Lauren will always get each other some candy and stuffed animals. She got me a stuffed animal dragon last year. Mm-hmm. It was funny because she took me and she took me to the store to get it. And she ends up getting me the dragon, and she goes, "Here you go," and I immediately named him and everything. And then we found a dinosaur. We found a T-Rex afterwards. She goes, "That's what I was originally trying to get you." And I'm like, "Nope, I'm taking the dragon home. The dragon's mine."
Okay. I
I
see it as a quick cash grab, but not in a negative way. It's supposed to, of course, promote love and yada yada yada.
Yeah,
it's not like Christmas.
It's definitely a commercial holiday and whatnot. And we'll do some chocolates or candy or something. We get a little cutesy with it, but we don't go super hard. And I definitely don't normally go out for dinner on it because that's always a madhouse. The only time we've ever actually done something dinner wise where we actually went out of our way is there's a place out here at Mandalay Bay, I think it is, in their shops, called the Burger Bar. Basically, it's a place that does nothing but burgers.
Yes. I would sincerely hope so.
They did a dessert burger for Valentine's Day.
Valentine's.
See if I can find it real quick. So we ordered them both, actually, because they have two different ones. But it's a glazed donut sliced in half. And then it is... Can you give me... Okay. Plain glazed donut bun with a hazelnut patty, mint leaves and kiwi lettuce, and a strawberry tomato. There's also another fruit that's sliced up to be cheese and stuff like that. So basically, it's all like fruits and stuff like that, but made to look like a burger.
Okay.
And so that's what we did. That was the one time where we went out on Valentine's Day to do something on Valentine's Day.
I mean, yeah, I could see doing that.
'cause, yeah, I just don't like adding to the stress that servers go through and whatnot by being just another set of people that they have to deal with on a essentially made up day.
Fair enough. You like D&D?
I mean, it's okay, I guess. Yes, I like D&D. What the fuck kind of question is that?
Now, if you could put your D&D campaign into an animation, would you do it?
Yes, if it was a good enough campaign.
Okay.
It would very depend on how the campaign goes, the people, the characters are created. Because let's be honest, we've all been in those D&D campaigns where someone makes a character that's just bland and boring, or you get a player who just they don't embody their character.
Yeah, they're not all there. I get you. Okay. Well, good news. We've talked about this before, but Critical Role, Legend of Vox Machina, is set to premiere on January 28th. Just thought I'd give you guys a little bit of a heads up about that. And they released their very red band trailer. It is absolutely gory. It is very much a bloodbath from the first 3 minutes, or 2 minutes, I should say. And it embodies everybody. Everybody's playing their own characters, of course, because they're voice actors. You get sneak snippets of good old Gilmore, Kima, some old characters that if you listen to Critical Role Campaign 1, you get to see them. This starts at the Briarwood arc, so you don't technically miss anything. You get caught up quite quickly if you happen to have not heard Critical Role Campaign 1. The only thing that they're going to be snipping out is bits and bobs of specific characters that didn't press the story forward and or caused conflict. So it's kind of just diving around that instance. But this trailer, yeah, I'm worried to go to another scene. That's how obscene it is.
It's. I only got a quick glimpse of it, but it's pretty
nasty.
Yeah.
Speaking of Twitter, boop. Encanto, talked about it a little bit ago, and won a Golden Globe for Best Animated Feature Film. And I can only say one thing: it deserves it. Not congratulations, it fucking deserves it.
I figured you'd be pretty happy about this one. When I saw it, I was like, I've got to tag Justin in this on Twitter because I know he's going to be excited about this.
Yes, I very much am. It is deserving of this, and I'm hoping it goes for an Emmy. I would like to see this win a lot more awards.
Emmy or television?
Emmys or television? Oscar. That's what I meant. Yeah, Oscar.
Gotcha.
Thank you for correcting me. But it even has on Twitter a little hashtag emoji.
I love the hashtag emojis. I think it's one of the great things that they've started doing with Twitter. There's one for Scream.
Yeah, there's one for Scream. There's one for Xbox. There's one for Game Pass.
There's one for WandaVision. There's
one for AEW Dynamite. There was one for Loki. Did they do one for Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And I wouldn't be surprised if they did one for What If. It probably was like a nice little ... question mark or something. But
I don't think there was one for What If I remember correctly.
Oh. I'm sure we can kind of go around and see it.
Yeah, so Falcon and Winter Soldier, if you did the full hashtag Falcon and Winter Soldier, it was both of them. If you did hashtag the Falcon, it was Falcon.
Yeah.
Hashtag Sam Wilson, it was Falcon.
Yeah.
Hashtag Bucky, it was Winter Soldier. Hashtag Bucky Barnes, and hashtag the Winter Soldier, it was Bucky.
Oh.
What If?
What If? Did What If?
I'm checking right now.
Also, hello to the chat.
Oh, it was a little The Watcher, but like made out of stars and stuff.
Ooh, that's okay. That gets a big smile on me. All right.
And then let's see if Hawkeye got good armor.
I still, yeah, we gotta watch Hawkeye.
Watch it. It was fun. It was enjoyable. There is one for the spoiler you got, and there's one just for Hawkeye.
Wow, fuck you.
I'll leave it at that because I don't want to.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let me switch screen. Do that. So, Bel Air is going to be airing on Peacock TV, and we got a trailer, a 3-minute long trailer that kind of gives us pretty much the intro that we already know and love from Will Smith, but
I'm gonna say it. This is weird to me. I want this project to work because I definitely think having more black media for the younger people is a good thing. And I know how important the original show was to me as well as to other people.
Mm-hmm.
But this one is more of a drama.
It does.
It is a comedy.
It does certainly paint that. Plus, it's TVMA, which is another one of those rub the chin, how's it going to play out kind of feel, you know? Because I would really, really like to see where this show would go, but it's going to be on Peacock TV, which means I can get it for essentially free with ads, yeah?
So I don't know how that exactly works because ours is paid. I know that originally there were certain things that were on Peacock TV that you had to pay for, but I don't know if this is not pay for there, but you had to have the membership. Yep. But I don't know if this is going to be one of those or not. So as of right now, I'm just gonna say it's on Peacock. Once it actually drops, I'll try to use it non-logged in and see what happens.
Yeah.
So we can go from there. The character's still supposed to be Will Smith, I do believe. They're still calling him Will, and he wears a jersey at one point that says Smith on the back.
Yep, he did.
So, trying to double check what I was saying about Will earlier when we were off of mic. I'm pretty sure Will's a producer on it.
Yeah, you had mentioned.
But I don't ever use the desktop version of IMDb, and it's fucking me up.
Oh yeah, because it's much more easier to just swipe to what you need.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he's an executive producer on it.
Okay.
So it was Quincy Jones. Awesome.
Oh, nice.
He was the producer for the original show. I'll give the show a shot, and I'm gonna have an open mind because it's not a comedy. I need to know that going in, and not to expect a comedy.
Yeah, he does the flip of the jacket, and it looks much more. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be hitting harder topics than what the original show did.
I mean, the original show hit some pretty hard shit. It's just
I know
a lot of comedy,
but
as well.
You see drug use, you see a gun, you see street racing, drinking,
parties.
Yeah, which Will never did. Will went to I think 2 parties, but he was just I'm here to play music. I'm not here to do this that.
I'm kind of excited for it because I think it's a very important thing, and I hope it does well.
Yeah.
February 13th is when this is hitting.
Cool. But speaking of things hitting hard, you're still excited, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. I probably will go black on social media for the next 2-ish days for the most part because I am terrified of spoilers. This comes out. Technically, the release date is the
14th.
I think they're doing that thing where it's it comes out on the 14th, so we're going to start showing it at 7 o'clock on the 13th.
Yeah.
So it's no, it came out on the 13th then.
No, it comes out on the 14th, though.
So I'm seeing it on Friday. This is Scream 5. The few people I follow that have gotten early looks at it, or early have gotten to watch it early, are absolutely loving it. They're saying it's phenomenal. So I'm excited, but I'm also nervous because if they make the killer any of the original cast still around, I'm gonna be very upset.
Okay.
And if it ends up being Stu, played by Matthew Lillard, I'm gonna be very confused because
the man got his head caved in by a TV. Yes.
A TV. Yeah, a TV was pushed on an old CRT, not like a today flat screen.
Oh yeah, no. One of those old CRTs can do damage. I dropped one of those on my foot as a youngin', and I was lucky enough that it hit the broadside of my ankle first before landing on the foot, so it didn't full impact, but it still hurt. I've
got one in the garage that's supposed to come upstairs so I can set up my retro gaming section in the office, but I don't have the energy to carry that bitch upstairs.
I mean, yeah, I worry about it. It'll probably be down there. Yeah, it's fine. It can stay there.
But the reason we're talking about this is they dropped the final trailer for Scream, which we're very excited about. But also, I wanted a really quick touch. There's a Twitter called Creepy Duck Art or Creepy Duck Design. The person is for hire. They do posters.
Mm.
And sometimes they do mock-ups of posters they find interesting, or movies they like, or whatever. And so they did a poster for Scream 5 just for fun, and it blew up on the internet. Everybody loved it. So much so that Paramount actually went to them and hired them to do essentially the same poster, just slightly different, for the movie.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, the final trailer's out. This is the last bit before they start spoiling things. That's one thing I want to say about Ghostbusters. We had planned to see it this week. We had to push the day we were going to see it, and they started dropping all the ads about how it's coming to DVD and whatnot. And in the ad, they spoiled a big part of the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they're like, well, it's already done its theater run and whatnot. So that's one of the things that, this is the last Scream 5 trailer for now, but I bet you in a month's time or 2 months' time, depending on how this movie does in theaters, they're going to start dropping those trailers and they're going to start spoiling things. So be prepared.
Oh, Jesus. Speaking of weird ones that you heard about, but I didn't hear about until just recently, the Bob's Burgers movie.
Yeah.
I didn't hear about it. I watched the trailer. I don't mind Bob's Burgers. I just didn't know it was gonna. I just didn't figure it would be getting a movie. Well, then again, going back in time, I didn't think Beavis and Butthead would get a movie. I didn't think South Park would get a movie. I didn't think Simpsons would get a movie.
What I love is when he released the Simpsons movie, the next episode of the show was directly reflected by the movie, the Bart skating through the town when he was skating through the destroyed town from the movie and whatnot. But the writing on the chalkboard was, I won't wait another 20 years to release the movie. And now, how long has it been since that movie?
Yeah, I mean, we're
not 20 years, but
we're edging that way.
Yeah,
but
Bob's Burgers getting a movie, cool, fine, fun. I might go see it, might not. I'm definitely behind on the show. My weird thing with it is this really a theatrical release? Because I didn't think The Simpsons was either. It's like, you want to do a Simpsons movie, cool, just released on Fox. But to each their own.
Yeah, I mean, in time will tell. I mean,
the only reason I understood the South Park one being released in theaters was because of the language. Yeah,
that too. But at the same time, they wanted it to be, as the subphrase was, bigger, longer, uncut. They wanted it to be a movie worth seeing in theaters. Yeah, that's one of the things that you really got to ask yourself about the Bob's Burger one. For the fans that won't even put any thought, but for the casual viewer, is this movie going to be what you want? Is it going to be worth it? Yeah. And it's going to be May 27th for Bob's Burgers movie. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. For the umpteenth time, not annoyed, just interested more so, we got another Zorro thing, but it's Lady Zorro. Yeah. Okay, hit me with this one.
So we keep talking about Zorro. We talked about this weird modern-aged hacker Z0RR0 or whatever it was, Zorro, that we're getting. We talked about how Disney is going to go through and do a new Zorro with Wilma Valderrama for Disney Plus, most likely. Now I'm talking about a third Zorro project. Zorro is headed to the CW. This is coming from Robert Rodriguez and writer-director Rebecca Rodriguez. and Sean Tretta and Ben Silverman and Howard T. Owens. This is going to be a new show for the CW with it being a female Zorro. So I pulled up the Lady Zorro comic cover because it was the only thing I could think of to pull up to kind of hint at what we were doing, but not actually give everything away to you. It's a new incarnation of this project was being developed by NBC during 2021. And so it's something they've been working on for a bit now. It's co-penned by the trio of the names I mentioned before of Rebecca, Robert, and one of the other names I mentioned I can't think of it right now. Gotcha. It's supposed to be a young Latinx woman seeking vengeance for her father's murder, and she joins a secret society and adopts the outlaw persona of Zorro. So I think it'll be a cool concept, but my question is why the fuck is everyone making Zorro all of a sudden?
I don't know, because this is project number 3, and this has been, like, looking over at the little trademark stamp, it says that it's a 100-year anniversary for this, and that was in 2019.
Yeah, I don't know actually how long Lady Zorro is around. This show is not going to be an adaptation of this comic.
No. Yes, but I'm just saying that Zorro's been around for 100 years as a media. That we've had him, even Lady Zorro in their own rights for ages.
Yeah, I think Lady Zorro was actually just recently developed. I think she came out. Yeah, I think she's like a 2020 invention. I think that may have been. Right here. First appearance was in 2012. In Zorro Reds again. So she's been around for about 9 years now.
Okay.
Coming up on 10.
Huh.
And I'm honestly, I'm kind of hoping we get more of the design we have up on the stream and less of the design of what we actually get. The design of what we is a little bit more low cut on the chest and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, well, refined. We want refined.
Yeah, like if we do Storm in the movies again, I'm all for, new costumes, old costumes, whatever. I just kind of don't want the Storm costume that's a bathing suit because I feel like, come on, she's going into combat.
Yeah. Make it breathe, but don't reveal. Speaking of breathing and revealing.
Right. So, Spider-Man No Way Home director, I am now spacing on his name.
John Watts.
John Watts.
Yes.
He's going to be producing a new Final Destination reboot. They're saying that the reboot is going to be destined for HBO Max. I like the Final Destination movies. For me, 1, 2, and 3 are amazing. 4 is not bad. It's just holy shit the CGI because that one's in 3D. And then 5 kind of suffers from the same thing, but 5 has a really good redemption with the
ending.
With like the twists and whatnot.
Okay.
So they're saying Final Destination 6, but then they're also saying reboot. So I don't know where we're at. Is it 6 or is it a reboot? I don't know. But it was a franchise that I enjoyed to an extent. It was always kind of gnarly to see the ways people were going to die and whatnot. I do think the first 3 were the better in the franchise. So. But this is the guy that's directed 3 Spider-Man movies now, so I'm kind of interested to see what he does as a producer for quote-unquote horror film.
Yeah. This looks gnarly. What we're looking at is a Nerf limited edition Star Wars Boba Fett EE3 blaster from the Book of Boba Fett with actual interchangeable magazines.
I love the way they did it. I love this magazines of 4 bullets that you just pop the old one out, pop the new one in, and you go. Like, that's your reload. I love it. It's a decent looking. I mean, it's Nerf. It looks like plastic.
Yeah.
But it's not bad. I think the one thing that kind of bums me out is that I do believe the scope just has a sticker on it. Like,
Oh,
if
it's
you
not a
just
real
made it
scope.
plastic and made it see through.
Yeah.
They didn't even have to magnify it; just make it look so that you can look through it. You know.
Let's see. Does the pictures have anything? Oh.
One of the pictures has.
Wait a minute. It looks like a piece of plastic.
I think it's a sticker. The box is really nice.
Yeah, the box is really
So-
nice. Oh.
You can currently pre-order this. It comes with 3 drums for the reloading, and it comes out March 1st. My issue is it's $109.99. Oh, sorry, March 1st of 2023.
That's not good.
That's a really far away release date. Why are we releasing this in a year? It's a fucking plastic Nerf gun.
Plastic shortage, I guess. I don't know. I wish I can give you a better answer than that.
Blaster sounds, an electronic scope with illuminated lens, features accurate blaster sounds and electronic scope with an illuminated lens. So I guess you can look through and it does shine.
Huh.
But yeah, it makes sounds. That's why it's so damn expensive. 2 AA's. Make sure you.
Yeah, I know, right? Jesus. And then last but not least, something you wanted to talk about that just recently exploded on Kickstarter quite well.
Yeah. So let me get some real quick history. So Kolchak the Night Stalker. It's a 1974 to 1975 American television series. There's also 2 television movies: The Night Stalker in 1972 and the Night Strangler in 1973. The show was on NBC, or not NBC, ABC, and it starred the reporter Carl Kolchak, played by Darren McGavin. He was essentially a reporter that would go and investigate these stories and discover, like, oh, it's supernatural shit that's going on, and he would panic and run away. It was a good series, especially for its time. It got 20 episodes in its run. And Chris Carter has actually, the creator of the X-Files, has actually cited it as one of his big influences. He says it's a tremendous influence. And I do believe that originally this was going to be more the concept that supernatural was going to be before they changed it to being the brothers that hunt down things and whatnot. They originally were going to make it more of a Kolchak style show.
Huh.
So, there was all kinds of different monsters in this thing. You had things from Native American legends. You had things from Hindu. You had things from all walk of life. I mean, he had to deal with succubus. He had to deal with witches, doppelgangers, zombies, mummies, werewolves, vampires. I mean, you name it. This guy pretty much went through it in his 20 episodes and 2 movies. It's coming up on its anniversary though, and someone did a really cool Kickstart, which was looking for a $14,500 goal and hit $48,795.
With 29 days left to go.
Yeah.
So they've knocked this out of the park day 1. And I mean, I like these covers. These covers look actually really nice.
Yeah, I'm hoping that the Kickstart has some of the images that I've seen released for this, so that you can flip through them, because I mean, they do like a version of like The Exorcist, like famous scene. They've got him squaring up with a vampire to help a lady, all kinds of fun stuff. Oh, there you go. There they are.
Oh.
I think it'll be fun. So this is the Kolchak the Night Stalker 50th anniversary graphic novel, comic book anthology with stories by Rodney Barnes, R.C. Matheson, Kim Newman, Peter David, Jonathan Mayberry, and more. I've actually read several of Mayberry's books. If it's the same guy I'm thinking of, it is. Jonathan Mayberry's got a couple franchises he does. One that's basically a government agency that deals with people making all kinds of crazy evil scientist type things. Like one of them tries to design a zombie plague, all kinds of stuff like that. The other one is a 3-book series that's basically the small town that's going through some weird supernatural stuff, and I do believe that third book in the series has like a bunch of famous horror people in it, like Tom Savini and stuff like that.
Holy cow! There's a lot here.
There is a lot. So there's a deluxe hardcover, and there's also a standard pack.
Yes. And you can even, just in case you don't want the physicals, you can still get the PDFs.
Mm-hmm. So the deluxe hardcover will be more than 200 pages, and the standalone paperback will be about 120. The deluxe hardcover will contain 10 comic book stories as well as 10 short stories. And standard paperback just contains 10 comic book stories, none of the short stories.
Fair enough.
Satanic Panic 88 is part of the paperback and hardcover editions. It looks like a really cool thing. There's some people in my life that I would buy this for that aren't me, and there's also the fact that I would buy this for me.
Fair enough.
So yeah, this just launched on the 10th.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense with the 31 days then.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
It was today that they hit their first stretch goal. So it's blowing up quick.
Good. As all good things should. Because, I mean, this does look interesting to me as well.
Yeah, I really like that shot. Go back up real quick.
This one?
That one that's like the very Exorcist thing. It's doing a play on the Exorcist shot where he stands
just outside the window?
Street corner at night. Yeah.
Oh, boy. Well,
That's what we got this week.
I didn't die. I didn't die through it.
You survived. You only like coughed once and not all that bad.
I coughed a couple. I pulled away.
Well, they didn't show up on my headset, so I doubt they'll show up on the recording.
I hope not. But thank you again for joining us. Remember to tell a friend, tell an enemy, tell a frenemy. Click the links down in the description. I don't have any of them in our VOD for Humble Bundle, but be sure to check that out as well to help support charities, as well as us help even more charities. Any other closing?
Like, subscribe, all that normal stuff. Check us out on Twitter. I'm pretty active over there if you follow my personal account. He's not, but I'll make him do stuff if you guys show up.
I'm pretty active.
I'm sorry, I follow like 1,000 people. My feed is full. I just miss it.
Fair enough. And you just got a couple really good followers yourself.
Yeah, which means I have to bring up my Twitter game even more.
Yeah, you do. But thank you again, everybody, for joining us.